Alright, y'all. Back again in the same clothes because I film all my videos at the same time. I got tagged in a book tag for the first time. I kind of have just been doing the book tags of my own accord without being tagged in them, but I've been tagged in one. It's super exciting. It is the Cyborg Tinkerer book tag. My friend that I'm doing the Brandon Sanderson Buddy Read series read along extravaganza. It's a very long name. I'm helping her and Sammy, the book dragon, with stuff for that. She has tagged me in this book tag. I will preface this by saying I have not read the Cyborg Tinkerer. However, I will read the description to y'all. The Cyborg Tinkerer, a circus competition, a tinkerer tasked with removing the losing cyborg's implants. Who is she to protect when she falls for both a handsome ringleader and a beautiful acrobat? There is a much longer description down below. I'll put a link to this book in the description box. I'll also put a link, obviously, to Katie Reed. And why not the Brandon Sanders series read-along experience if you are interested in checking it out. All of that will be linked down below. So I haven't read this book, as I just mentioned, but I might have to check it out now that I've been tagged in it. I'll probably put it on my TBR for the near future. Needless to say, there is 10 questions here. I'm going to also try and put the questions down below. We'll see if that happens or not. But needless to say, let's just get into it. These questions are hard, so I hope y'all are ready to bear with me. Alright, I'm going to just be reading the questions off my phone, so if I'm looking down, that is why. Also, I apologize for any dishwasher noises you hear over there. Question 1. From feisty to sweet, what is your favorite protagonist to read? I am here for feisty. I am here for, like, badass warrior person saving the day. I don't really have a gender preference on protagonists with the feisty or badass warrior experience. I'm here for everybody. I'm not here, like, really for the, especially female protagonists that are just kind of, like, lovey-dovey and just chilling. I don't read a whole lot of romance, and that's probably easy to tell from the way I answered that question. But I'm like, I want to read a protagonist that's going to go get the job done. It's going to be fun while they do it, and save the day, the whole experience, the whole works. Question number 2. Not all romances start off on the right foot. What is your favorite romance trope? Again, don't read a whole lot of romance, but I am here for the enemies to lovers / like friends to lovers. I like the fact where, like, you're thrust into a situation and you might hate each other, but you have to, like, learn to work together to reach your end goal, and that's kind of how the enemies to lovers works. Or even if it's just, like, light disdain towards one another to lovers, same difference. Question number 3. Some characters will stop at nothing to achieve a goal. So what are your favorite character motivations? If they stop at nothing to achieve a goal and they're, like, ruthless and other people around them die and things like that, if they're motivated, like, by extreme need for survival or something like that, I get it, but it still kind of sucks. And I am, in my mind, as I say that, referencing Roland from the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. He is a true definition of an anti-hero, and I wasn't a huge fan of his character, but that's also because he sucked and sacrificed everybody around him so he could achieve his goal. So that I answered what I don't like. Sorry about that. We're gonna get over to what my favorite character motivations are. I think if it's, like, for these, I like character motivations that are, like, to protect the found family, to save the world, to solve the problem. I don't know if those are character motivations. That's what you get from me. Question number 4. Some villains are just evil for the sake of evil, but some villains feel like they are protagonists in their own story sometimes. What are your favorite kinds of villains to read? I like villains that are I honestly don't like when they're crazy kind of thing or just a little messed up in the head, as in they feel like they're protagonists in their own story. Like, that just makes them, like, more cumbersome to read. I think I like villains that are like, I'm gonna get the job done that I think is right, no matter what happens to all of y'all. I think that's a more satisfying, like, takedown. For example, in Mr. Mercedes, I've only read the first of the Bill Hodges trilogy. I didn't realize it was a trilogy, so that's my bad. Yeah. I'll grab it. The villain in this book thought they were the hero in their own story, but they were also really messed up in the head, and I just felt sorry for them, and honestly, they made me hate the world a little bit, so I wasn't as excited about, like, the creepy villain, so to speak. Yeah, I think if it's just... I honestly don't have a great answer for this one, so we're gonna just move on so I don't ramble for 25 minutes. Question number 5. In science fiction and fantasy, settings can range from magical forests to space battles to a dystopian near future. What is your favorite setting in science fiction or fantasy, and why? I read a lot more fantasy than sci-fi, so I'll preface it that way. I like when a whole new world is created, which I think is just the high fantasy genre in general. And I honestly don't have a super big preference one way or the other, but I just like when it's beautifully articulated and you really feel like you're present in the world, and that's a good time for me. If it's a sci-fi book, I like when there's a, like, and I'm thinking of the Forever War book. I forget who it's by. I'll see if I can put them up on the screen or not. But I liked that book a lot because it was kind of just it started on, like, common day Earth, and there was space travel. But we also got to see, like, time dilation, which was really cool because, like, these people were asleep in, like, cryo sleep or something like that, where they didn't age for, like, millenniums by the time the book ended. So you, like, they go and fight their space war, they come back to Earth, so much time has changed, you get to see what's different. They, like, go fight their space war, come back, all this has changed. So that was really an interesting thing to see in sci-fi. I mean, just general interplanetary space travel is pretty cool as well. Life on Mars, also fun. I honestly am more particular about the way the writer introduces me to the setting that we're in than the setting itself. Like Brandon Sanderson and Patrick Rothfuss in the Stormlight Archive and Name of the Wind, respectively, did a great job of just building out this world. Like, those were amazing books. I love them a lot, if you haven't noticed that already. Question number 6. What is your favorite book that takes place within a circus or has a competition in it? I've only read, I think, 2 books that kind of have a circus aspect or fair to it, and it's Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury and Stardust by Neil Gaiman. Those were like a fair kind of circus. Both were just completely different. So I liked those books. I didn't really have a preference in them, but for a competition, which is the other caveat to that question, I think I really liked the competition setting in the Goblet of Fire by Harry Potter, Harry Potter #4, Goblet of Fire, J.K. Rowling, etc. That was just such a unique competition. Yes, the Hunger Games are great, and yes, the way the Divergent books are written is kind of like it's a competition to figure out where you are, and then a competition to, like, survive and stay in Dauntless. That's pretty cool. But I think just when it's the whole book series is, like, circular, it's, like, related to this one competition, that wasn't as cool for me. I really liked how the Goblet of Fire was just, like, a story variation in that series. So I think I'll go with that one. Number 7. What is your favorite kind of obstacle midway through a book before the climax? I don't actually have an answer to this question at this point. I think that, like, there's usually in books that are action-packed in whatever genre they're in, there's usually multiple different, like, conflicts before you get to the major conflict. And sometimes if it's a book series, you don't even get to the main conflict till, like, later in the series. I honestly don't know if I like a particular form of conflict before that. I think as long as the conflicts ultimately tie into the climax, I don't have a huge problem with it either way. Number 8, love triangle. Some people love them, some people hate them. What is my favorite love triangle I've read in a book, or least favorite love triangle I've read? Spoiler alerts for the Stormlight archive. Now I will put a little timestamp at the bottom for where to skip to. There is a love triangle in the Stormlight archive, and I think it's done pretty well. I still ship the people that like aren't ultimately together by the end of Oathbringer. And the whole thing takes place between, and it's not even like an official love triangle, because official love triangles kind of just like annoy me. It's like a story that's been told over and over and over again. But the like kind of pseudo relationship / kind of love triangle between Shallan and either Kaladin or Adolin, yes, that is interesting to me. I like both of the male options for this relationship, and Shallan is just nuts all by herself, so that's a fun. She has multiple versions of herself, so it's almost like it's more than 3 people involved. But my whole heart is in Kaladin, or sorry, I can't talk. Kaladin, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Kaladin. But at the same time, Adolin's also a really great character, so I'm just like, I personally want Shallan and Kaladin to be together, but I think Shallan and Kaladin, like, have, at the point in Oathbringer before, like, when she's gonna go officially, like, commit to being with Adolin, that, like, they're like, we like each other, but we both suck and need to be better people by ourselves before we could even work anything out. So, I'm interested to see how the relationship changes and whatnot in the next 2 books, but I'm still a diehard Kaladin and Shallan shipper. So, obviously that's quite the love triangle for me. Spoilers end. Yeah, that's the sort of pseudo-love triangle experience in Stormlight Archive is good, and I like it. 9. There's a whole, like, statement that I didn't catch to write it down about, like, how space travel and stuff is really important in sci-fi, and, like, ships with sentience or sometimes their own character and stuff like that. So the actual question is, what is your favorite ship from a story or form of space travel? My favorite ship, and it does have sentience, and it's its own character all by itself, is from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's the Starship Heart of Gold. That is a ship that has character all by itself. I think that's enough said on that one. I haven't read that book in a while, so I don't remember a lot of specifics, but it, like, answers what's the meaning of life, the universe, and everything, and then it also, like, takes them all over the place. It's a whole experience. That entire 5-book series is an experience, if we're being honest. Number 10, favorite story about a found family. Kat answered this the same way I'm going to, and I can't really think of a better example. I do love the story of found family in general. It's a great time. I'm here for it. I love when a band of misfits comes together and, like, bonds in the, like, need for survival or to, like, solve the problem or save the day, etc. But the Mistborn trilogy with the crew under Kelsier, with Vin and Spook, and I'm not going to name all of them because I can't, clearly, I just tried. But that's a beautiful, like, trilogy surrounding this, like, found family idea. And I think it was done really well. Mistborn Trilogy is also by Brandon Sanderson. I also am a big fan of the TV show The 100, and that's another example of found family. There is books for it, but the books are not quite the same as the TV show. I think the books are a better example of the found family, honestly, than in the TV show. But the TV show itself also, like, the found family idea changes as the seasons go by. Also, it's the last season. Y'all should go check it out. It's on Netflix if you haven't watched it. It's great. Little sad, but it's great. So yeah, I think the Mistborn trilogy did a really good job with the whole found family idea, and Vin just, like, is accepted by these people in this crew, and they get to go on all these adventures and do all these cool things, and, like, ultimately save the day and whatnot. So that is it for the Cyborg Tinkerer tag. Thank you, Katie Reed, for tagging me in this, and oh, my chair's rolling. I'm not used to being on tile. It just ran away from me. yeah, that's what I got for y'all today, and thank you so much for watching. If anyone else wants to tag me in anything, just go ahead and do it. I'm here and I'm excited about it.